I have news for regarding the graphics update, PC release in the state of Nebula, basically is what this will be called and titled for this video. I was going to do a stream, but there's no content. So I'm here at Nexus, not many people here in this little server, just basically 3 people plus me. But I'm going to read you guys their long post. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I was really trying to, just to try to talk about when it comes to communication. This is how you communicate. This is what you're supposed to really put people in the light, because people were talking about the PC and the graphics update. What's going on with that? You're going to find out and get all that information here in this video. And this is such a huge post for you guys that I'm going to read every word by word, and then I'm going to share my thoughts and reactions about the state of Nebula post, Nebula, just to share and be open with you guys as you guys watch this. So I'm going to copy everything that they said in this post that they made today into the description of the video, so you guys can read it for yourself, just in case you miss what I say. And then you can also head over there to their Facebook page, which is the main place that they post out of all their social media platforms that gets all the love. You can go there to check it out as well. So let's get it started, just to start here from their post that they made. So they said, "Hi there. We want to share some information about the current state of Nebula Realms. We know that many of you are eager to see the graphics update, have more game features, or play it on PC. Now, let's start with the graphics update." So that's what they have here. About the graphics update. "This is a huge task. We need to switch to the latest version of Unity and check and adapt every single game asset. We almost have 5,000 to make sure that we do not have anything broken due to engine conversion. Also, the environments need to be adapted to new lighting process and materials. Good news is that most of the assets are converted and waiting to be added to the game once we switch to the latest Unity version." And they put, "Kudos to us, that was a lot of work." And just to stop right there really quick, of course that's a lot of work. You're trying to put everything, you're just basically redoing the game from the ground up and trying to get everything to look a little bit better. And there's a lot of stuff that they basically added when it comes to public spaces and personal spaces. Now let's just continue. "Adding features and updating to the new Unity version. In order to increase the quality and engine, I almost said energy performance. In order to increase the quality and the engine performance, every time Unity does a big update, for example, from 2018 to 2019, it not only adds features like improved graphics, but also changes or stops supporting some internal tools to add new and better ones. This is not a problem with games that do not require maintenance, but for a game like Nebula Realms, has a huge impact since it needs new minigames, content features on a regular basis. Our current code lacks scalability. Making a small change in the game workflow needs a lot of recoding. Adding new features also runs into the same issue." Now, what they said right here, it starts, they're working on it. And they said, to solve the problem, we are recoding the core of the game to make it as scalable as possible. We're doing this with the newest version of Unity. And while we're adding, that was a little bit of time to say, while we're adding new features, this way we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 1, have the game updated to the newest Unity with all the improvements and new features. Number 2, have the game coded in a way that adding new features will not require it to do hard coding. Once this is done, adding new features in Nebula Realms or upgrading the game will be only a process and not an issue. This task needs a lot of love from us. At the moment, we prefer to do not share any possible game update release date. So the PC build. So we're going on to the PC information for the PC build here. So let's get this. "As you might know, we have partnered up with TurboPlay platform to release Super Kickers League and Nebula Realms on PC. To release the game on PC is a priority for us, but it needs to be done right. Releasing the game on PC before the update of the game is ready will delay and overcomplicate the overall process. We release the PC version once the game is updated to the newest version." Now, patches and content. This is the last portion. We're doing the update in a separate project. The current game will not be affected once the update is ready with the new features, graphics, and engine. We will switch one version to the other one. the current Nebula Realms will keep having will keep having regular content updates. We will also approve some public spaces and release new ones soon. We have a lot of things lined up. That's all for now. So that's all our information for the state of Nebula Realms now. And I want to just say this: I'm not going to be the person to just say, "Well, I want more information," and just that's all I really want. At least from my individual side. I don't know about anyone others out there who probably stopped playing the game and we're asking for way more. All I want is communication like that. I don't care if it's not an update or anything like that. But when you leave people in the dark for days and weeks and weeks and weeks without a single peep, and you got people asking questions and they're not getting the answers that they need, and they're trying to ask moderators or anyone else that could possibly know. I'm getting questions as if I know. Like the situation of Nebula Realms or what's going on with the updates, as if I know when the updates will be out. I'm just as lost and clueless as everyone else in the community. So that's just the kind of post that I wanted, the communication that's needed. It doesn't have to be a long post like this was, but just let us know how you guys are doing with the updates, how things are coming on. If you guys run into a roadblock with an update or a delay, just say something. So just all you have to do is say something. That's all I want. You guys can take as long as you guys want to with the updates and all that, because I play so many other games. This is E3 season coming up in this weekend. E3 2019, the biggest gaming event that I always watch. It's a great time to be a gamer. It's a great time to get into all types of different games of variety. That's why I'm not really playing this game and being active. I'm busy playing other games. There's so many other games out there to get excited for other platforms. Not even just sitting on a social game all the time. So that's where if there's nothing really going on here, I'm only usually on here when it's an update. But other than that, just like I said before, I'm up out of here. I'm not really gonna be found on here. And I'll come on here occasionally to hang out with some people who want to play, just hang out on here just to chat and chill for a little bit. But I'm not even gonna be on here that long because I'll be ready to play something else in a matter of minutes. But I'm really appreciative that they came out with this kind of post. But I gotta just talk about it now. Let's talk about. I think they're me personally. I don't know about anyone else. You guys can weigh in the comments if you want to. I think they're trying to do too much at the same time. It's just like talking about two birds with one stone. I'm thinking about four birds. Let's name them real quick. Trying to get this game out on the PC. But let's stop it right there before I even mention the PC release. The first bird is trying to get regular updates and getting the content and putting together the content for this game for all the just reworking public spaces that don't really need to be redone. You're just making constant remakes. Just make a new public space like they did with Super Kids League. No one really goes there now. That was just not all that, but places like Zero District with more activities, we're going to come out with public spaces. But that's already one bird. Creating content, public spaces, and trying to get everything out in the run for the patches and all that stuff. That's one bird. The second bird is trying to get this game out on PC. The PC release. The third bird is the graphics update from the ground up. Redoing the avatars from the ground up. From head to toe. And all the public spaces, the personal spaces. Let's go to the shop. Let's get to the shop right here. See all these personal space. Let's count 1, 2, especially the biggest personal space that's bigger than every public space. Basically, the greenhouse, that's going to take a long time. That's going to get the love too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 personal spaces. And then if anybody else is going to get the graphics update, what about the pets? I wonder if the companions are going to get the same thing. The furniture itself. The locomotions, you see, those are all individual looks for graphics. So first we had the patches and content, then we had the game coming out on PC, and then the third bird, just like I just went through, is the graphics update. And the fourth bird, to count, this is the only one, the last one I can think of, the fourth bird that you're trying to kill with a stone is the Super Kickers League game that they were working on and so focused on earlier this year. And I talked about that on the stream. It seemed like that was one of the main focuses that they were trying to do. They stopped to create the content from this, and they pulled away and strayed away from the game itself to focus on content for Super Kickers League right here. And it took them a while to try to get this public space out, implemented into the game, because they were trying to meet the release date. They were trying to get the game out on time, and I think it came out around March. So that's the final bird that I can think of that they're trying to kill. They're trying to get the game out on PC now. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna say this. This is just my personal opinion that I'm just gonna state here. Just from, I don't know if anyone will agree, but Super Kickers League just came out on the PlayStation 4. It's not on just on the PlayStation 4. I got my Nintendo Switch here right in my hand. You hear me pressing little buttons right here? Look, I got my Nintendo Switch right here. You just came out with it on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and now you're trying to get it out on the PC? I think that's way too fast. Now let's count the months. When it came out sometime in March, a little bit of March, you can count it. That's not a full month though. April, May, June. It's only going to be out for almost like what 3.5 or a little bit close to 4 months. Then you're going to try to come out with it on another platform. That's a whole different world compared to consoles. And some people probably haven't even played it. They're probably not really gonna. They probably were thinking about it, but the game still just recently came out and it's still partially new here on PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. Now they're trying to do that to get it out on a PC. I would say that can just wait. There needs to be no hurry for this. Hurry for that game, Super Kickers League. It's a completely, totally different game. If you guys want to know, Super Kickers League is a soccer game. It's this little sports game. It almost made me think about Super Mario Strikers, but it plays so much better than what this is. I think their main focus should be their focus on their current product, their current game, on the current gen game of the current game that you have right now with so much that you guys have on, that you guys are trying to take on. Because then if you're trying to make it, you guys said it right here, you guys want to do it right and make sure it's done right, it's too much that they're trying to take on. I think they should do one little task at a time. You want to do the graphics update first, go ahead and take care of your current game. Don't worry about Super Kickers League. It's still a fresh new game. Don't worry about that right now and trying to get it out on PC. Let it flow, let it sit on the Switch and the PS4 for now, and then once you take care of your current issues and trying to get your Unity update and put this all together and get all these spaces and servers stabilized, and all that, then you guys can make the jump over to the world of Super Kickers League and get that on the PC. Because you got people, we're sitting up here in June. We just waiting. And what I don't like is how they just been. I said this before. And some people probably don't know. In the beginning of this year, they said that their main focus was going to be the PC graphics. That was what their main focus was from when the beginning of this new year of 2019. They said that their focus was the PC and graphics update. But then they flipped it and started going back to content for this game for personal spaces. Here in comes the personal spaces. In comes the clothes and more companions and all that stuff. And then I'll say the LTA, limited time activities like Memory On and all that stuff that they came out with. Little Simon Says and whatnot. And then they ran into a brick wall. I mean, they started slowing down with the content, and then they started coming out and just talking about Super Kickers League. And then that's when they came out. It took them some time, just to go back and say it again, it took them some time to go and get to the Super Kickers League space. I'm going to go here and run here and show you guys. They came out with this space. They came out with the mini game and rewards. But then the cube was broken. Not the current one, not the new rework, but it was the old original cube that they originally came out. That was broken, so that was inaccessible. So they had to fix that up. They had to fix all these different problems that kept occurring, and then the crash. You see what I'm saying? Client disconnect and all that, and it might even crash my game. I wonder if Super Kickers League is not even saved. Oh, there you go. See, now you can't even go here. See what I'm talking about? It's so much work that needs to be done. So I'm probably not going to be able to advance and really try to go through different spaces. So I'm just going to talk. But it might crash my game. So if it interrupts me. But those are just my personal opinions. I think they are doing way too much. It's more than just 2 birds. It's 4 birds that they're trying to deal with and kill and take down with 1 stone. And then with problems like this, you want to get this stuff situated and stabilized. You don't want to just be coming on here and then people that's trying to get into your game on a new platform, they won't have the patience for that. They're gonna expect more stuff to just to be stable, for more stuff to be playable when it comes to their game. But I think I'm happy with the fact that they came out and talked about this with some kind of discussion. and probably answer some questions that people might have had with public spaces and content and all that. We know what's going on now. But I just think it's going to be too much for them to take on. They should do one little thing at one time. Don't try to do two separate whole different games and try to get them out on the same opposite platform that's outside of the consoles. I think they should mainly focus on this for now and try to get as much as they can done to try to improve this game to get people back into this game who have not have probably been motivated to really try to re-download the game or even try to get into the game itself. But when you see problems like this going back and forth, I basically have to close my application just to try to fix it. I might be trapped in Super Kickers League. And it's so early, and there's only what 2 people in the space for Nexus. That's the most popular place people go to now. You don't even have a reason to go to all these other public spaces. Some other things I would like to see for these public spaces is some activities, not just some mini games. Some mini games that's single player. Let's get some multiplayer mini games so people can play. Let's get some activities so we have more to do in the public space instead of just standing around. Yeah, it's a social game. I can understand that, but you don't want to just be doing that. You want to have stuff to do. They want to keep people active, to keep coming on here. Multiplayer games, like just what I was going to try to show you guys to go to the Super Kickers League pitch space, is that it's not what I was when they first came out with it. It's not what I was hoping it would be, and not what I imagined. I was hoping it'd be like a real soccer game. I was just so hyped for this space, but it wasn't. It wasn't just a space where you could just go and play just a soccer mini game. I was thinking about that, teaming up with players, doing 3v3s and something like that, or 6v6, doing a multiplayer. They could have did that to really evolve and improve Super Kickers League space. I'll be going there every time I come on here, on the streams and all that, covering content. I'll be going there playing that mini game, trying to get people to play and team up. I'll team up with randoms. They could have did that instead of just having to kick the ball into the soccer goal for just 3 times to get a free reward. But there's so much that needs to be done, and this is just evidence. I didn't even see this coming. But just like I said, I like that they communicated with everything when it comes to the state of Nebula. I was expecting them to probably say something about Friday because they usually just wait several days to say something. But posts like this is gonna keep people happy, even with the minimum lack of content and the updates. At least we have some kind of idea and a good amount of information when it comes to the patches content, the PC situation, and the graphics and all that stuff. So we got 3 pieces of information that we touched on: patches and content, the PC information, the graphics, and more. So I'm not about to just sit here and watch this, but that's just my personal opinion. Just let's say it again: is way more than 2 birds that needs to be dealt with when it comes to this game. And I think their main focus should be this game, not Super Kickers League that already just recently came out, that you already have running on your PlayStation 4, available on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. Because it's 2 different games, it's going to take too long, and you trying to do everything all at the same time. It's too much pressure. I think they should be focused on this game, and it's only going to get better if they can come out with posts like this and can try to rework it. But this is the 3rd time. Lastly, this is like the 3rd Unity update from my memory that I've seen them try to do. The first one was when they came out with the darts mini game, and then the second one was when they had to stabilize the servers and they try to make the graphics a little bit different, but it was just a little bit brighter. Now they're going to do it another time to try to see if they can make it run better. But I'm just hoping that they test it. They don't rush it. Don't rush it. Test these updates. Make sure when updates, patches, or whatever they come out with for this game, test it. Don't rush it. Make sure it works and it's stabilized, and make sure everything works properly instead of just being in a hurry to just try to come out with an update and just throw stuff at us. And then it just ends up, just problems like this ends up coming up when people boot up their game and try to play this game for the first time to try to get into it, see what's new, and they can't even check out the content.